Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the mysterious death and disappearance of Jelani Day, a 25-year-old African-American grad student who disappeared in August of 2021. So he is from Bloomington, Illinois. He was attending school in Bloomington, Illinois. He was 25 years old and he was working towards his master's in speech pathology. By all accounts, he was a normal citizen, productive citizen, just a regular guy, friends, family, no issues, no problems, nothing out of the ordinary that would explain how he ended up dying the way that he did. So there was no criminal activities, there was no any type of altered mental state. There was just nothing. He was just a regular guy living his regular life, and then all of a sudden his body ends up in the Illinois River. By all accounts, he was popular, he was well loved, close to his family. In fact, his father at the time of his disappearance was actually fighting cancer. And I think the father was hospitalized at the time. And if not at the time of his disappearance, had been in the hospital fighting cancer. Because there's reports that Jelani will go visit his dad, sit with his dad, talk with his dad, pray with his dad. And he was really close to his father. He was also a bone marrow match to his father. So if needed, for the cancer treatment, Jelani, I'm assuming, would have done whatever was necessary to help his father beat this disease. So the notion that he could have committed suicide, his family and friends or anyone that knew him, just they won't accept that, because there was no way that he would have, taken his life for any reason, but especially knowing that, he could have contributed to his father beating cancer by donating his bone marrow. There's just no way that he would have done that to his dad by committing suicide. The last time that his family spoke to him was on August the 23rd. August the 24th, he was seen on surveillance camera. He was actually at the Bone Student Center of his university. And on the surveillance camera, he was wearing a blue button-up collared dress shirt, black pants, black belt, black dress shoes with a blue face covering. So because he was dressed up like this, it seems like maybe he had an important meeting that day or that morning, or I don't know if this is how he would dress to class usually. It's a little bit unusual for a grad student to be dressed up like this just for a regular day of classes, but it's not unheard of. So maybe he was just going to be attending his classes that day. It was going to be just a regular day. I don't know. I couldn't really find any reports. And the reason why what he was wearing at 7 o'clock in the morning on August the 24th is important is because on the same day, just a couple of hours later at about 9 a.m., he was seen on surveillance camera again at the Hello Cannabis dispensary, but this time he was wearing something completely different. This time he was dressed up in a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, a blue baseball cap, black athletic shoes, white or silver shorts, and his car could be seen in the parking lot. So he went from being kind of dressed up, kind of like office attire, now to being extremely casual. So between 7 and 9, he had time to change his clothes. No explanation really given why he would change clothes, but kind of feeding more into the theory that maybe he had something special planned that day, and then after that was done, he went ahead and got into his regular, more comfortable clothes. Or unless he's just someone that dresses up for class, and then when classes are over, I don't know, he changes into something more casual. Now, it seemed as if he had not been attending classes for a few days. That's what it seems like. On August the 25th, and the reason why I say that is because I had read reports that he had missed some of his classes in the days leading up to his disappearance. August the 25th, one of his professors reached out to him because he missed his class. And I read a report where it said that with this particular professor, if Jelani didn't attend, he would normally send him a text like, hey, you're going to be joining us today or whatever, I don't know. And then Jelani would most likely respond. But on this particular day, Jelani didn't attend the class. The professor reached out to him, I think, by text, and there was no response at all from Jelani. And so this raised concern in the professor because this was so unlike him to not respond at all. So This was August the 24th when he was last seen on the surveillance video at the campus student center and at the dispensary. August the 26th, 2 days later, after he was last seen on surveillance video, his car was found in a wooded area in Peru, Illinois. Peru, Illinois is 60 miles north of Bloomington. So now the mystery is, how did his car end up without him in Peru, Illinois? And it was found in a wooded area, off of not even in a parking lot, but in a wooded area, in a strange position, in a strange area. So it kind of, from the articles that I read, it appears that maybe the car was just dumped there haphazardly. I'm not sure. And the license plate was missing from the car, so that obviously is going to raise a lot of red flags. And his cell phone was not found anywhere near the car. Inside the car, they found the clothes that he was last seen wearing, which was the clothes that he was seen wearing at the dispensary surveillance footage, where they found the Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, they found the shorts. I'm not sure if they found the shoes, but the t-shirt and the shorts were found in the car, but no cell phone, and the license plate is missing from the car. His wallet was found in a different area from the car, but I'm assuming somewhere near the car. And his school lanyard was found in a different area from the wallet. I'm also assuming probably somewhere near the car, but maybe not in the car. September the 4th, this is about a week later, they found a body in the Illinois River 2 miles from where Jelani's car was found. It took almost 20 days for them to positively identify the body as Jelani Day, and they positively identified him through dental records and through DNA comparison with his family members. Now, around the time that he went missing, around the 24th, the 25th, law enforcement had done an extensive search of where the car was found. So they used canine, drone, aerial, and ground searches were done, but nothing was found. They receive a tip after they do this initial search. They receive a tip about a body being found in the river. They go back to that area, and that's when they found the body. It took 20 days, like I said before. They didn't know at the time that it was Jelani, but 20 days later it was confirmed that it was Jelani. So my question is, what type of tip did they receive, and who provided the tip? And it seems like when they did the initial search of that area on around August the 26th, that they had combed through that area pretty well, but nobody was found in the river. Or maybe they didn't search the river at all. Maybe they just did the ground search, the aerial search, the canines, and then that was the end of that. And they didn't really bother with the river. I don't know, but they got a tip. I couldn't find any articles as far as who gave them the tip or what that actual tip was, but the tip led them back to that area, and that's where they found the body. The reason why it took about 20 days to positively identify him was because I guess this particular county, they're really backed up, and I think it's LaSalle County. They're really backed up with their DNA cases, their DNA evidence. The LaSalle County coroner's report stated that Jelani died by drowning, but that there was no ante-mortem trauma to the body of any kind. No blunt force trauma, no sharp force trauma, no strangulation, no assault, no type of indication that he was harmed in any way. And his toxicology reports came back basically negative with anything unusual. He did have normal levels of alcohol, caffeine, and cannabis, but nothing alarming. He wasn't, there was no overdose of any type of substance, no alcohol overdose, no narcotic overdose. He didn't die of any type of natural causes. It wasn't a stroke, a heart attack, a disease, nothing like that. So he wasn't attacked or assaulted in any way. He didn't have any kind of an accident because there was no trauma to his body at all. And there was no type of overdose of any kind. So it seems like law enforcement is trying to imply that he committed suicide. But why would he drive 60 miles away from everything he knew, his home, his school, to Peru, Illinois? And his mother said that he had no connection with Peru at all. He didn't know anybody there. He had no business being in Peru. Jelani had nothing to do with the city of Peru, Illinois. So why would he drive to a city that he wasn't familiar with, park in a wooded area, strip his clothes, walk to a river, and plus the body was found almost 2 miles away from where his car was found? So if law enforcement is implying that he possibly committed suicide, that would mean that he left Bloomington, and somewhere along the way, on his way to Peru, he removed his license plate, he ditched his cell phone somewhere, and arrives in this wooded area in Peru, Illinois, throws his wallet out, throws his school lanyard out, removes his shirt, removes his shorts, I'm assuming his shoes, walks almost 2 miles to the river, and then kills him, and then jumps into the river, I guess, to drown. It just doesn't make any sense. Something happened to this kid. Someone brought him there. Someone other than him brought the car there. And the coroner's report of, no trauma, I don't know. Okay, so some just additional information that I found. Jelani was an avid swimmer. Now, can an avid swimmer die by suicide? I'm assuming so. I would think that there would be this natural instinct to swim. Even if you try to kill yourself by drowning, if you knew how to swim, and especially if you were an avid swimmer, I would assume that there would just be this impulse just to try to swim to the top, trying to save yourself. I don't know. But I guess if you're really intent on killing yourself by drowning, you can definitely do it, even if you knew how to swim. Like I said before, he was a bone marrow match for his father, who was fighting cancer. And like I said, by all accounts, everyone that knew Jelani absolutely refused to believe that, if for no other reason of living, he would not have taken his own life, knowing that, he could possibly save his father's life. So it's just a mystery. And it seems like the investigation has, I don't know if it's stalled, or if they're just not, releasing the new information that they may have found. I don't know. So because of the fact that his family is not really believing the information that law enforcement is providing, or the information that law enforcement has released, the family conducted their own autopsy. Now, there's a lot of confusion about this private autopsy that was done. Initially, there were reports that this second autopsy revealed that his organs were harvested, that the body was found with no internal organs. Then later on, it came out that no, that was just a really horrible rumor. There was no truth in that at all. The family even came out and confirmed that the autopsy report that they had done doesn't say anything about his organs not being in there. Law enforcement said that because his body was in the water for so long, there was major decomposition of the organs, but the organs were definitely still inside of the body. This is a good-looking young man, a lot to live for, it seemed like. Had a lot going for him, had a bright future ahead of him, close-knit family, friends. Omega Psi Phi fraternity got together to sign a petition to demand the truth that the truth be revealed of exactly what happened to their brother. And it just doesn't seem like someone who would, on a whim, just disappear to go commit suicide so far away from his home and his school, and to do it by the whole thing is like a huge mystery. I do believe that law enforcement is not telling us everything. I do believe that law enforcement did not take his disappearance very seriously. I think it's very possible that obviously there is some information that is being covered up, either intentionally because I don't know why, or because they realize that they made some major mistakes and now they're trying to cover up their mistakes. So I do believe that law enforcement could have definitely handled this better, because it just doesn't make any sense. And I also want to know, was there any surveillance? If there was surveillance at the where he was last seen, which was at the dispensary, is there any surveillance of what direction his car might have gone to? Because whenever you watch these crime shows, there'd be surveillance videos of the route that a car took, sometimes for like a mile, 2 or 3 miles. They'll have surveillance video because there's just cameras all over, especially in really major cities. There are surveillance cameras all over the place, at traffic, at intersections, on buildings, on homes. There's cameras all over the place, and they could actually will track a car for like a mile. But with him, everything ended at the dispensary as far as where he was physically last seen. And then, his body ends up 60 miles away from Bloomington in this river without any clothes. I don't know if he was completely naked. I'm not sure. But definitely the shirt and the shorts were found in the car. And his body was found almost 2 miles away in a river. The Reverend Jesse Jackson attended the burial of Jelani Day. And Reverend Jesse Jackson said that this death is definitely a homicide. Jesse Jackson believes that it is a homicide. And he also compared it to the murder of Emmett Till. So I will definitely try to keep up with this story to see if anything else comes out. Hopefully more information does come out. And I'm really sad for the family, because while other cases get international attention and we're just bombarded with the same case over and over and over again, I'm referring to Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. It's just crazy that, and I understand that not every single case can get national attention because there's just too many cases. But it's like the whole world will be focused on this one thing. And it's always, the same type of victim that gets a lot of the attention. And other cases where it involves someone of color don't even get a blip. So anyways, that's my video. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like. If you really, really like it, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye-bye.